If you're interested in getting your replays analyzed, please read my pinned comment below. Thank you and enjoy the video. Hey guys, and welcome back to the third edition of the Rocket League gameplay quiz. In this video, we will look at another 6 gameplay examples, this time ranging from Diamond 1, Diamond 3, Champ 2, GC1, GC2, and SSL. So yeah, let's jump straight in and take a look at the first question. What do you think went wrong here exactly? Rewind the clip and have a think. Let's take a look at the answer. This player was first man, meaning he is the first line of defense. The problem is that he somewhat vacates this role of first man by turning away. This causes an issue where his second man needed to rush in to bail him out. So what should he have done? He needed to go up the wall and try to stop the initial threat, which is the pass. If a player, especially in Diamond, is going up the corner wall, they are likely to pass only. Example. As first man, we go up the wall and prevent the pass by hitting the ball away. I think this is doable for Diamond 1 rank. Okay, let's move on to question 2. Why did this situation end up defensively awkward to deal with? And why did it almost result in a goal being conceded? You can rewatch the clip as much as you want until you have an answer. Let's take a look at the answer. The issue here is that this player started to panic a little when the opponent hit the ball on the wall. This caused him to vacate his role as first man and he went back to net. The problem is that his mate is also rotating fast behind him, and when he sees his mate in net, it causes a big confusion as to who will challenge. The solution was that this player needed to grab pads and try to contest the ball that hits the wall. Example. As second man, we push up whilst collecting pads. Once we see that the ball is going high to the wall, we turn back enough so that we can clearly see the ball and the opponents. This is important to see both. And now as first man, since mate rotated, we push for this ball and can go for it confidently. Let's move on to question 3 now. What could this C2 player have done better in a way they approach the ball for a shot on net? Have a think. Let's take a look at the answer. The answer is quite simple. The player needed to approach the ball from a wider angle to give himself a view of the ball and the opponent in case one of them is up. Example. By swinging wider, we are able to get a better angle of the ball and view of the opponents. And since we can see that the opponents are far away, it gives us a chance to hit a stronger shot on net, or we can take control and dribble flick too. Let's move on to question 4 now. What went wrong here? What could this GC1 have done differently to potentially stop this goal from happening? Rewatch and have a think. Let's take a look at the answer. Some of you may say that he shouldn't have panic flipped, but that didn't necessarily lead to the goal, meaning there was still time and an opportunity to defend the conceded goal. The problem is that they turn their car around with ball cam off, and this somewhat leaves them in a disoriented and awkward position. So what should they have done instead? Although mate should do better with the challenge, we should also assume the same shadow position similar to him. Why? Because if the ball goes past mate, we've angled our car to make it much easier to clear the ball to the corner, rather than the ball being over our heads and it being difficult to clear, leading to a clear to the opponent. The idea is that we're thinking a step ahead rather than just covering net aimlessly. Example. We assume the same shadow position as mate. As you can see, when the ball comes to me, it's not as awkward to deal with, and it's much easier to get a stronger clear on the ball. Let's move on to question 5 now. This is more of a mechanical question. What could this GC2 player have done when the ball rolled up the wall awkwardly behind him? Have a think. Let's take a look at 3 different mechanical options we could do. Option 1. Take a touch and then flip cancel into the ball for a shot or a controlled air dribble. Mine wasn't great, but I think the idea still stands. Option 2. This is identical to option 1. The only difference is that I use air roll right on this occasion instead of air roll left. This highlights how perfecting both air rolls could be really beneficial in some mechanical instances. And option 3, a controlled air dribble could have been possible too from this GC2 player. Likely wouldn't score from it, but could lead to a 50 and it takes away pressure from his own net. Let's move on to question 6 now. Was the positioning of this SSL player incorrect? We know that it leads to them conceding the goal, but does that necessarily mean his positioning was incorrect? If not, why do you think his positioning was correct? Pause or rewind the clip and have a think. Let's take a look at a potential answer. Here, the SSL player positions himself directly underneath the ball and the play. Why? Firstly, he knows his mate has full possession in the air, meaning that he expects his mate to do one of 2 things. Either he beats the opponent challenging him in the air cleanly, or he 50s the ball. Based on this positioning makes sense because if he beats the opponent, then he knows he can aerial up and take the ball off his mate in the air since he can see his mate has low boost. And if they 50, then if it drops down, he'll be close and ready to follow it up. And if the 50 goes behind him, then he can just simply turn around and pick it up. So what happened here? The problem was that his mate pre-flips and whiffs the ball. This now means that both options that he tried to cover, a clean beat or a 50, no longer applies, which now leaves him in an awkward position to deal with the situation. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and leave a comment down below and let me know how many questions did you manage to get correctly, and if you did get any of them wrong, which one did you not get correct, and maybe we can discuss it in the comments. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next video.